Hi everybody and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Friday the 3rd of May 2019. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Arthurian Tarot for today's reading. Let's have a look at what the people of Camelot want you to know for today and what the energy is about. The Stone Maiden, 4 Swords, and the Sun. Lovely. The Stone Maiden, I would assume, is the Princess of Pentacles, like the Knight of Pentacles, and it's pretty grim. She's got a severed head in her hands. Then we have the 4 of Swords. So we've got a court card, a minor arcana card, and then we have a major arcana card, the Sun. All right. So the Stone Maiden is a woman who has to deal with some really serious issue in her life. We've got her there, dressed in green. She's in a very cold landscape. This man has been decapitated. We've got a crow there, indicating death and magic and the mysteries of life. And this standing stone, which is going to serve, I feel, as his ultimate resting place. I think it's up to her to bury this head. And it's extreme. It's an extreme circumstance that she doesn't seem fazed by at all. She's just standing there in her green dress. So it's totally natural to her. I guess back in those days, things were a lot more gruesome and brutal. And she was responsible for saying the last rites over these criminals who'd been sentenced to death by beheading. Pretty brutal, pretty grim. And what that says is that today, in terms of your practical circumstances, there may be some mysterious happenings, mysterious goings on that you don't quite understand. There may be something that is pretty grim that you hear or that you have to deal with. The good news is that you're able to deal with it without being fazed by it. It's cold. So this isn't like someone holds your hand through this. It might be that you get a credit card bill and you thought you'd paid it off, but whoops, there's 3,000 on it. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to deal with this, but you can deal with it. Not by burying your head in the snow, literally, but by taking a difficult circumstance, honoring it, looking at it, and getting rid of it in a way that is respectful to the actual problem and dealing with it in a manner that's appropriate to the circumstance. The next card is the 4 of Swords, and this teaches you something. The action that you've taken is not wasted. Because of this action that was unpleasant and grim, you have now understood something even more. We've got the cross here, the intersection of spirit and the physical. And it makes you grateful for the good things that you have in your life. And it reminds you that, okay, things aren't as bad as I thought. I have my health, I've got money, I've got a roof over my head. I have had to deal with something really negative today, but I've dealt with it by using my intellect. Swords is thinking and communication. And on this tombstone, another tombstone, we've got these bulls kind of heading towards this man who's wearing kind of boxy armor there. So it seems that there's physical pressure on you. So The bull is Taurus in astrology, and Taurus rules money, the physical world, career, and your physical health. And there may be some pressure on you in one of those areas. But because you're able to face the truth without looking the other way or going into denial and facing something that's horrible and grim, you make the decision to look at it, to deal with it, you learn from it, and that's why you end up in this position, which is really, really positive. So you overcome your financial difficulties, you overcome difficulties that have to do with your health, you overcome difficulties that have to do with your everyday circumstances, or the financial pressures that are on you by sorting out your finances, moving money from here to there, and then having enough to pay something off, as an example. And that leaves you with the Major Arcana card. And the Major Arcana card is the thing that counts as the most fundamental theme of the day. These are temporary. And this is especially personal. This is something that you're learning about as a character, as an individual, as a person. So you learn and you're connected to something higher that alters your perspective. And ultimately, you get on this horse and you ride off into your happy place. You've got a wand there, a spear, so you do something fun. He seems like he enjoys hunting and riding around and doing that for himself. He's also got a harp there strapped on his back so he can play music. And he's going in the nude, so he feels free and liberated and like he's at one with nature. We've got this blue sash over the horse, so he's in touch with his feelings. We've got a river running through there, so he's in touch with his feelings and the practical physical world. He's mastered the physical world, therefore his feelings pick up. And he feels very sunny and positive and upbeat about his life. And he's proud of himself. Look, he's smiling and he now gets to enjoy himself because he's taken something difficult, dealt with it, learned something from it, and he realizes now that he can be under pressure and he can thrive regardless. So it's incredibly liberating for him and for you. So if something difficult crops up in one of those areas, don't get stressed about it. Say thank you for giving me the opportunity to deal with this. I mean, that might be going a bit far, saying thank you for this problem. But say thanks for the opportunity to learn something, because once you've dealt with something once, the next time it comes up, you're like, I've been here before, I've done this before, I've got the experience, I know how to deal with this, so I don't need to get upset. I'll be able to handle it, and then I can use the rest of the day to frolic around in the meadows and to enjoy myself and to take all my clothes off and go running around in the meadows. So it's a really great day for you to have fun, to enjoy yourself, to deal with the difficult stuff, to be proud of yourself and really celebrate what you're doing. You know, sometimes when we deal with really difficult things, we don't take the time to say, I did really well there. A lot of people say, oh, okay, well, but the next problem that I've got to deal with is this. They don't take the time to celebrate the fact that they faced something really gruesome and actually finished it and drew a line under it, learned something. Give yourself the time and space to pat yourself on the back a little bit and say, well done. There will always be other problems that come up. But you've got the opportunity here now to celebrate and to really treat yourself to something good because you've done a good job. And you've overcome and you've transcended circumstances that you may not have. Some circumstances crush us and we don't rise to the occasion. And we're in it for a long time before we learn something. This is you understanding something that's unpleasant, seeing it for what it is, not going into denial, sorting it out in one day, understanding it, and moving on. So that's pretty good, and that indicates someone who's experienced, who's got a good head on their shoulders, and who's on the way to becoming the Queen of Stones, or the King of Stones. So someone who masters the physical world, and someone who doesn't need to worry about the daily routine and money and circumstances all the time because you've got a good handle on them. You're learning how to get a grip of all of these things. Number-wise, 19 and a chord card, which is 1, is 20. And 4, 24. 2 and 4 is 6. And 6 is a temporary opportunity that opens up. And what's interesting is that these cards, the way they're designed, each card is a doorway in itself. We've got a doorway within a doorway here. So it's a window of opportunity that opens for you to learn something on this day that really liberates you for the future. And when, like I said, when it comes up again, it won't cause you any stress because you're like, been there, done that. So it's a mixed bag, really. It's a day where not everything is perfect. We hardly ever get days where everything is glorious and perfect. But you really make a lot of progress and you end up with a big smile on your face. And as far as days go, that's not a bad place to be in. So I hope you have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. I use tarot, astrology, and numerology in my personal readings so I can see what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, where you've been in past lifetimes, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and how you can work on them. Love, finances, health, moving, where the best place is for you to live. And I can answer any of your questions. Also about what's coming up in future. So if you're interested in any of that, then please do get in touch for a personal reading. gregoryscott.com. Click on the Book Your Readings button on the front page or the Readings tab, and you can order your reading there. I look forward to speaking to you, and I'll be here tomorrow for the daily tarot reading for the 4th of May. I hope you have a great day here, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.